also get your audio in, please. And welcome to week 5 of the LSEM Cup, the Amy in Sebring Short in the Classic Street Muscles car. I'm SSR Mayhem tonight, and alongside me is LSEM the Butler. And welcome, Butler, to what could be a very exciting night of racing before we go on a week break here in the LSEM Cup.
Yes, indeed. We're here at Sebring Short today with what appears to be the classic street muscle copper, something that's a bit of an oddity when it comes to racing in competitive settings like this, but should prove interesting tonight.
And, you know, the LSEM Cup, you know, this is week 5. We got a break this next coming week, and then we go to Spa in the F1 cars. And, you know, that's going to be an intriguing race. As right now, the drivers are in qualifying, so we are in the middle of a qualifying session. So, once they get done with that, we'll line the drivers up accordingly to the field for the start tonight, as it is a reversed field again this week, as we will be going green here within the next 10 to 15 minutes, hopefully, so everything runs properly. If you're just following us for the first time tonight, the LSEM Cup has become a pretty successful event so far this season, and it looks very promising for the remaining of the season. And I gotta say, Butler, we've had quite some thrills this year so far. Going week 1, Shadow taking control of that race, and the Corvettes won it significantly well. Week 2, he does it back-to-back again at Prague in the GT series, where most of the drivers took the Viper to run, and late pass by Rufus to beat Servi on the very last turn on the last lap. And then we've also had some thrills last week in the race at Maple Valley, which was the Forza Group Rally cars, as that was a very exciting race, so a lot of action there. And tonight, and also I can't forget about week 3 in the prototype cars at Road Atlanta. So here we are at Sebring here tonight, and what do you expect?
Well, I'm expecting another put-on solid performance by Shadow here, but I'm also looking around the field and I'm seeing a lot of people who could potentially going to run for its money, like PPS Proud, and, well, his teammate, of course, but you're also looking at LSEM Zombie and some of the more consistent drivers who made it up from being named.
And yes, and I think tonight the one guy that can knock him off, 2 guys that can knock him off here tonight are PPS Proud and LSEM Zombie. PPS Proud very happy with the car, running really consistent times, low 21s, some high 20s. Shadow has been in the 20s with his car, and Zombie, I haven't seen a whole lot out of him, but I know he's been a pretty fast car throughout qualifying practice this week.
Yeah.
And if anybody wondered,
yeah, we're going to have to take a quick leave.
Okay.
Be back.
We'll see you in a little bit. And if anybody wasn't here, Friday night, we had the B-Main action. It was a very good race, a very competitive race. The top 4 cars were out of cars. He won the race. Right behind him was, and I have to remember this correctly as I have the list here, was the Epic Racer, who put on one heck of a show. Right behind them, battling it out throughout the entire evening, was LSEM Drago and O2 Medic. So, those 4 cars are here tonight with us, and I gotta say, the Epic Racer was putting on one heck of a clinic, but Aldacar really took control of that race that night. So we'll expect to see what those guys can do, as they will be involved in this really stout A-main field. Just bear with us as they finish up qualifying here. They still got 2 laps to go around the track. And like we said, this is a reverse grid for this week, so the slower cars will be in the front to start the race. As we're running along State Farm number 2 machine, O2 Medic. now Shadow has the quickest time here. Zombie following him as Proud, not too far behind him. Actually, Proud has the second fastest time currently, going on their final lap. And qualifying now finishing up here. Alright, now that we got that underway there, we will get the lineup squared away. So because Forza isn't following the direction of what I had it as, I have to do it a different way. So this will take a few minutes to get them in line, so just bear with me.
So looking at the lap times, it seems that LSEM Shadow has in fact taken pole at a 1:20.8.
Oh yes.
Wow. And Zombie coming up in front of PPS Proud here.
Well, Proud actually had the faster time. Proud had the 21.
Oh yes, sorry.
4. I'm currently trying to get these times down. Forza was not really working with us to put them in order like I had it set to, so I gotta pull them out and kind of get them in line.
Yeah, it can be somewhat challenging when you're dealing with infrastructure which is entirely cooperative.
And Drago has to start at the rear of the field. He has a dirty lap, so that's unfortunate. Epic. And so does Outlaw, both having dirty laps through qualifying. Those two have to start the rear of the field. 22.8. 22.9. I think Conway's after him. 23.1. And he is. Just excuse us a little bit here as we are in the middle, just make sure the lineup's proper, because it's not in order, so we have to go by the lap times that we have here.
Indeed.
Alright, and I have it. So, got everybody on there, so that's good. I'll take the lobby with me, as we will set up the new lobby. And as Butler, I think you know the new lobby changes, and maybe you could explain to the viewers why we are doing this while I get it set up.
Sure thing. So, a couple of weeks ago, around the Road Atlanta course in the prototype guys, we were experiencing some issues in regards to the pit glitch, which is a glitch where if you play this game at all, or if you watch gameplay, you realize that when you go into the pit, your car is put onto a railroad that basically takes it right through the AI driving it, taking it into the pits. You're still taking it back out. The pit glitch is where that doesn't happen. You maintain control of the car in the pits, and what happens is that there's no way for you to get to your box, and therefore your tires don't get changed, you don't get filled up, and any damage you have doesn't get fixed. So the change in the lobby is actually a way that we found that helps to minimize the risks of such an occurrence. And we also make sure that at the start of the race we go ahead and everybody goes into the pits to make sure that there is no pit glitch. So those are some of the precautionary measures that we are taking to ensure that it is a fair race for everyone, as today seems to be a long race for everyone with 40 laps of this track.
And it will be.
Yes, so,
And Aldacar will be the leader to start this race. Right behind him will be Medic. Right behind Medic will be Kamikaze. Then Epic. Find Epic. I think Epic disconnected. Oh my gosh, we gotta get Shameless out of here.
let's see if Epic Racer.
Well, while we wait for Epic, the Sloth. And sorry, Shameless, but we have to kick you out of here, buddy. Right now, we're waiting on the Epic Racer.
So, just to review where we are at in this series at this point, we have Team Badgersill on 213 points, taking the first place. Zombie in second with 118. Doritos in third place. Team K and N in fourth. Team Sky in fifth. Team AMR 2 in sixth. Team LSEM 3 tied for seventh with Team KPS. Team AMR 1 in ninth, and OG Meta in 10th, closing out the top 10. We do have about 31 drivers on the board at this point, and I don't know if it's grown since last week at all, but we are in fact going to have to kick Schultzy DLZ out of the party and the lobby because he's not in the right car in the race and registered to race.
Oh, and I just got word that Epic had to leave, so that will scratch out Epic from the event. And that's unfortunate. He was really excited with his car. Alright, who else do we have? Alright, so pretty much we're set to go here. You have a little bit of a hum there. I was gonna let you know.
Is that better?
No, not yet. So with the dropout of Epic Racer, that is better now. We will go, get ready here. The 2 pace lap rules will be 50 miles per hour. The beginning is pretty simple. These drivers will, well, I'm entering the race on accident. No, I'm not. Okay, never mind, I'm good. As Forza is going to load everybody in. Once everybody's got their little circles off, we can get it going here. Alright, so to explain to everybody how this is going to work, the first 2 laps are pace laps of this race, meaning that the first lap is to make sure that the pit glitch doesn't exist. I wrote on myself an accident. How this works is, this is 3 chances to start the race. So if the first time it doesn't work out, we'll make a new lobby, try again. If it doesn't work again, we will redo it a second time. The third time, no matter what, we go green.
Okay.
And I know the screen's frozen right now, so please give me a minute. I'm in the middle of fixing that. No, you'll wait at the end of the pit road. Just kind of guide them down there. And if you're watching this, I am in the middle of fixing the screen. Alright, I got it back up and running, so that's good. Alright, so here we go. This is to see if the pit glitch exists or not. And as of right now, it looks like everything's going pretty well other than the cars smashing each other up in pit road, but that's normal. That's normal. Collision mode is always on. They're on simulate damage. Damage will not be affected while they're in pit road. There should be 12 drivers on the track, plus pace car, which would make 13. So as of right now, nobody's going through a pit glitch as we speak. And if you're wondering why Outlaw and Drago are starting in the back of the field for this race, they both had dirty laps during qualifying that automatically puts them into the back of the field. So that's why Shadow and Proud are both in front of them, as here they go. And I would like to check out the pace car right now, as the Aventador is out there as the pace car. The LSEM Cup logo on that is a very nice job by yours truly, the Butler. So very nice to see Butler help us out here tonight on both the commentary side and the beginning of the race to commentate, or pace car I should say. So thank you, Butler, for your efforts here tonight. It was very much appreciated.
It is a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad to have you. As we got your teammate racing tonight, as you kind of got a little busy during the week.
Yeah. I was it was a busy week for me at university, and I had I raced in the Hard Axe Challenge first floor and was not impressed with my performance at all. So I'm just stepping back from the game a little bit, just reevaluating, coming back in it with a new vigor. So that's where I stand.
Well, you gotta be excited for your teammate tonight.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Cody's been putting on quite a hell of a performance, keeping team's time in top 5. So I've been very impressed with that in my absence.
And he's held you guys up for this. But as now we're getting ready to get to the final turbo started. Here's the lineup. Starting at first is LSEM Car.
Oh, what?
Second is O2 Medic. Third is SSR Kamikaze.
And it seems that we're backing out.
And something is wrong, so we will have restart number 2 up here, as it's probably, and it was, a dropout. So we will reset the lobby up. So this is part of the process, ladies and gentlemen, as we will do it once again. This is kind of the thing here. This is our trend. It looked like we had everything. I thought everything looked good to go there, Butler. Looks like obviously not on the driver's end.
Yeah, well, obviously something along the way went wrong, and it's enough to warrant a restart. I suspect that it was a dropout, like you said.
Disconnection,
and,
probably.
That's always something. Yeah, it's something that's always has a possibility to happen. You can't really prevent it too much. But we do our best.
Well, yes, and our rule here is, 3 times and go. So no matter what happens, if they get disconnected on the 3rd time, well, we're not going to wait. You got to go green, because we got to get the show done. So we got people watching,
yes.
and plus it's late at night. Some people have work tomorrow as well. So we got to do what we can with what we have, but we try our best here at the LSEM Cup and that Mayhem's Association, Endurance Association, to get these races going as best as we can. So we try our best to let the drivers have an opportunity to be involved with the event, as I'm still trying to figure out who had issues getting into the lobby, as it looks like Sloth it looks like Car actually is the one. He is the one to have problems. So as of right now,
it looks like he's restarting his full singer.
So some misfortunate events have occurred, so we'll wait for them. And like I said, the LSEM Cup, it's been a pretty successful season so far. Obviously, we've had some bumps along the way, with the Forza situation, not being able to make the pits work out all the time. We've had so many pit glitch problems. We've had a lot of getting into the lobby problems this season, so it's just been one of those. We're doing our best, and honestly, Butler, I think we've managed to do a pretty good job with what we had in front of us and what we've had to deal with.
Yeah, no, kudos to you guys for doing a really good job in managing all the problems that can arise in taking care of an event.
And it looks like right now, Sloth Reflexes is the one having issues, along with Car. So we are going to wait on them. Did Sloth get back in here? I don't see him on there yet. I don't see him yet.
I think he is in the,
he's
just dropped out of the lobby again.
He's having a lobby problem. So while that's going on, I'm going to fix the grid as it should be, so I will set that up accordingly. And Outlaw having the fortunate, not having any difficulties, as he's had a lot of problems trying to get his game rolling tonight. So he's been very fortunate up to this point to get the ball rolling.
And very noticeable that we're missing the AMR teams tonight.
And they all had to miss the race this week, so unfortunately they had missed it, but they will be back, I believe so. So it's one of those weeks where they're not here, but it's what it is. sometimes you can't make all the races. You know, it's part of the deal here in the LSEM Cup. Can't always make them, but it is what it is. And like I said, we'll
that's
hopefully
what
get
it's
them back.
going to come down to. Yeah, we'll hopefully get them back, but like we said before, that's what it comes down to, and it's going to be a matter of those drivers who can, or those teams who can make it, doing it consistently, versus those who are really fast, but may not make it all the time.
Agreed. And while we're waiting to see if Sloth can make his presence here tonight, we'd like to also point out that there is a brand new series at Mayhem's Endurance Association called the GT Championship Series. It's a 10-race series. Sign-ups and registration are on the Facebook page at Mayhem's Endurance Association, which is on the, if you look on the back wallpaper, it also still says home of the LSEM Cup, so that's how you'll know where to look if you need to find it. So Sloth is back. So it's good to see him back in action as we'll get ready to go, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as it looks like everybody's ready to rock and roll here.
And here we go.
So we're going to try this again. Hopefully round 2 will be a little bit more friendly with us. And if it happens again or something goes wrong, we will have the final time, which will be the 3rd time to get the ball rolling. So if it doesn't work here, the next time we go green no matter what.
Yes.
You know, another thing we've been trying to do this season is do stream and broadcast the series, airtime our drivers here in the LSEM Cup, and not only that, but present the series, and we're battling with that right now, but things have been working out pretty good there as well. And like I was saying though, if you go to Mayhem's Endurance Association on Facebook, it's a Facebook page. You can also go on Twitter and find Endurance Association as well. Both of them have the posts for the GT Championship Series. And once again, that is a 10-race season. It starts on June the 22nd, I do believe. Sign-ups and registration are till June the 10th. It is a stock, it's a homologated but stock tune and upgrades only. So only homologated parts are allowed on the car. No tuning is allowed, which will make the race kind of interesting. And hopefully we get a big enough group of guys and ladies, hopefully, all-around drivers, I should say, that will want to participate, as this is a brand new series at Mayhem's Endurance Association, as everybody knows, is a brand new online racing association on the amateur side of things, but you know, it's a very fun group to be a part of, and we're just trying our best to get things on the roll with a new series, as we have the LSEM Cup, which is our currently major series of the association. So we'll get back to the racing action here, but once again, you can find those both on Mayhem's Endurance Association, also on Twitter and on Facebook. June 10th is the deadline to sign up. Anyways, Bo, you still with me there?
Yes, I am. I just muted myself because I had to sneeze.
And that's okay. Alright, so here's the lap tonight. Starting in the lead is LSEM Malakar, the winner of the B main at Friday night. Had a very commanding lead after he passed up the Epic Racer, who unfortunately could not race with us here tonight, as he was very thrilled with his car. And right behind him, the O2 Medic, who finished 4th in the B main, just getting edged out by Drago on the final turn of that race. And in 3rd is SSR Kamikaze. And in 4th is LSEM Blue Trans. 5th, Sloth Reflexes from SSR. And 6th is LSEM Cody Pendant. In 7th is SSR Bobberts. And 8th is LSEM Zombie, excuse me. In 9th is PPS Proud. In 10th is Shadow. And 11th, Outlaw Racer 24X. And to round out the field would be Drago, and I have no idea where Drago is right now. And I have a feeling he just got disconnected, so we'll find out from the drivers here real soon. And actually, maybe not. I don't know exactly. Butler, what do you got going on out there?
Well, I'm looking at the number of people on the board right now, and it's showing me that I am first of 12, so it does look like we've had a dropout somewhere. And whether or not the other driver is going to drop out, or whether drivers just have to leave is another question.
And I was just checking it out to make sure if anything messed up, but it looks like...
It looks like we will be taking our third restart.
And this is
dropped off.
the third and final restart for the race, and I will get that message across to them right now. So give me 1 minute. Alright, this is it. Third restart. Disconnection or not, we're going green. So let them all know that. If they get disconnected, it's unfortunate. We will not be waiting for them again. We will be going green next time around. This is the final restart to this race. Thank you. And I just got done sending them that message, so we will back out and get another lobby start, because even though we didn't race, ladies and gentlemen, the thing about it is, once you end a race, whether it's quit or finish, it kind of resets itself into a new race. So the glitch does occur in most cases regardless of that. So that's why we will make another new lobby to start this race. And, you know, Butler can vouch for that, because that has, you know, this has been the only way that we could get these lobbies to work properly, and it's just been, you know, it's unfortunate we have to do it this way, but it's what we have to do.
Indeed, yeah, and I'm just getting word from the mixed chat here that, in fact, Epic Racer had to drop out due to the following reason, and I will be quoting this directly. I'm sorry I've had to drop out. This starts too late for me, and I live with my grandparents, so basically I've had to drop out.
Well, that's unfortunate for him, so he had to drop out tonight. I don't think we need to know that much, but that is very unfortunate that he had to drop out, but the show must go on, as we say here. Epic Racer has made a couple of late races, and the reason why we say late is because some of these drivers are from the UK right now. Right now we're but it's late for the guys out of the UK, and you know, it's a little bit rough sometimes to get them going here, as right now we're still missing a driver, I believe, right?
Yes, we only have, we're missing 2 drivers currently, as we only have 12 drivers in the lobby, including yourself and I. So, it would seem that let's see, no, SSR Sloth is not made it in yet.
Sloth.
I'm looking for the other driver, and I can't pick a name out of the hat to find the right one.
Blue Trans.
Blue Trans, that's the one. Yes. So, as we're waiting for our last couple drivers for the third and final restart of tonight's race, how well do you think Alcar's going to be able to hold that, for instance? Of course, it is a reverse grid.
Honestly, I'm not so sure. I think he'll be out front for a little while. I think he'll stay in the lead till about lap maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on how some of these faster guys come up through the field. But, you know, it just depends. I mean, we watched Friday night as MG Love Hades, who was just on his debut, started on the pole, and he actually flew off the track in the turn 2. So, I mean, anything can happen. You just never know, and it's one of those things.
And as LSEM?
It looks like it. I don't know. I need word on Trans and Sloth here. What about Trans and Sloth?
Because I don't see.
I'm sending the message to Autocar right now. And thank you guys who are all with us right now. You know, this has just been the trend of every week.
Yeah, it's been somewhat interesting in terms of getting us all working.
Give me 1 minute.
No problemo. So, now is our chance to interact with the chat as we wait for the race to start. Let's see where we're at.
Oh, sorry, what did you say, Butler?
Oh, I'm just going through the chat right now and seeing if there are any questions that need to be answered.
Trans is gone for the night. We don't know Sloth's situation yet. We'll give Sloth another couple minutes.
And it does seem to be somewhat chronologically correct, as with every restart we've had, it's gone slightly later in the day in-game, and now it looks like we're going to be doing an early evening race with some overcasts, which means the headlights will be important to keep on.
We're going to give Sloth one more chance here. His teammate Drago is in the race, but for certain, knowing Sloth is the faster driver right now, you would want to have him in there, as those two are teammates.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's always important to try and get as many of your team drivers in the race as possible, because even if there is a member in your team that is faster, they will get the points, but then it's your job to make sure that you can try and close out those top places to slow down or just decrease the number of points that the other teams manage to get. And it seems now we are about to enter the third and final pace lap.
And we're not going to wait, so Sloth will have to drop out as well now. Just a very unfortunate, thing. I mean, I think Forza and Turn 10 need to look into some of these problems that, people are having, because they are ruining leagues and, other things that are going on in the Forza community that is what makes Forza so great. And right now, this stuff just hurts it. You can't control a disconnection, but you can control the connection between lobby and drivers, or somewhat at least. So something that they should.
Yes, definitely. It seems like a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is dedicated to their public hoppers, and not to their private ones.
Drivers should only communicate with me through Xbox, because I can't be on the Messenger app while we're broadcasting this stuff. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks from now we'll be back in action. Next week we will be off here. The drivers and myself and the rest of the staff will have a break. The drivers will still have a little work to do, as we will be giving them the next 5 races of the LSEM Cup. I will say the next race is at Spa. It's an F1 stock car, or stock tune, stock setup, basically everything, race, which will make the race very interesting. It will be the first race of 2, I believe, for the F1 cars this season, as the F1 cars will be featured at least once or twice. We know at least once, obviously. The Indy cars will make, I believe, a appearance, and the NASCARs as well will make a couple appearances. So those 3 divisions as well will be throughout the season as well. We still got some R-Class, A-Class, and some more C-Class racing along the way, along with some S-Class racing. So those are some other things to look forward to. So far, the season has been pretty much a couple high classes, a couple lower classes. And now we're going to go through the pit thing once again. No matter what happens here, we're going green. So even if the pit glitch comes or not, we still got to go green. And Butler, I see.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things.
And you finally got that paint job done for Cody Pennant there, which you're pretty quick with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I woke up this morning and realized, oh wait, I have turning around on painting these. So I finally got that little side, right? That's the layer correctly from the week 1 Corvette, and basically it's expanded and tailored to that one really quickly. So the system there for getting that heat done nice and quick.
And here we go. So an hour later, we are going green, and that's okay because unfortunately that's the way the trend's been for all these A mains. You know, Butler, I was talking about something else the other day, and it seems like between the C main and the A main, there seems to be the two problems, and it's really weird. They shouldn't have A problems. The C main gets by pretty good. The B main goes by smoothly all the time. We've never had an issue with B mains. They normally start up on the first start or the second. For some reason, we have the heck of a time getting these mains the race of the week going. And it's just one of those deals. I mean, there's nothing we can do to control that.
Yeah. And as I'm just slow down a little bit here with the last couple of turns before I'm in the pack. Seems like people are getting a little bit heavy, but we should see it starting to form double file very soon.
Alright, I'm going to figure out who I'm going to sit on the street. I kind of want to sit on Cody Pennant here to start this race. Cody Pennant had a pretty good qualifying this week. Actually qualified into the game for the first time in this series. Normally Cody has to battle his way up, and he's every week in, week out. He actually missed the first week of the LSEM Cup, but Butler was in there sky. So Cody made sense. So finally made it through, and he was one of the fastest cars in qualifying until a couple of times. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as this is week 5 of the LSEM Cup. The drivers ready to go here at the Classic Street Muscle Cars. And green flag is in the air as Autocar hits the line. Medic getting a good run off the start. Kamikaze down on Autocar. Cody Pennant up high. Autocar losing a position by Kamikaze. Kamikaze having a great run off the beginning of the race. Kamikaze takes the lead in the first turn of the race now. Good exit now as he gets passed by Medic on the inside. He gets a turn number 2. Medic going low as they're all going too wide into the turn right now, as it's just been a nice little battle here. Kamikaze at the front, but Cody Pennant now taking over the second time. There goes Torrance looking to an outside move here, going on the inside. I think Medic in the lead right now, as so far Shadow and Proud still haven't made it through the field just yet. Running along with Shadow right now, as he's still got to get around Proud, and behind Shadow is struggling Outlaws. Those two guys trying to find their way up, as Shadow now on the long straightaway as Zombie right in front of them. 3 wide down the back straightaway as Proud has to lay off. And now
Zombie and Shadow look like the path up right to the outcar. Roberts coming into the corner, just ahead of them. This has been a outcar going wide.
And Cody Pennant takes the lead.
Zombie and Proud.
And Shadow now moving up to 5th place now. The Zombie though, Proud and Zombie, the two guys that we've discussed that have the shot at knocking off Shadow's team. Badgerstill has won every week so far in the LSEM Cup. Shadow winning weeks 1 and 2, Lawrence 3 and 4, and now Shadow back on the mark as he is trying to go 5 for 5 for Team Badgerstill this week, Butler.
Could we have a bit of an upset special tonight? I think we might, as they have to battle for the entirety of the pack. And as we know, Sebring is a bit of a tree.
It's Shadow! It's Shadow! Shadow with the contact hits the wall! It's Shadow!
We might have our first safety car of the day.
And Shadow with no damage.
Cold.
And I'm a little confused here. There is a damage glitch for Shadow, so at least I think there is.
But a safety has in fact been called here, as the drivers are slowing down, trying to ascertain if there's any damage to Shadow here. And if not, we may be looking at a restart on this lap.
And it's really weird because that's another thing that Forza hasn't really worked with is the damage glitch. Some cars get it, some cars don't. So it's one of those weird deals. So who knows what happened there, as Cody Pennant now, as pit road should be open this time around. We'll see who takes the opportunity to get their first pit stop out of the way. And Cody Pennant will take it. PPS Proud will stay out. Car will stay out.
Proud then,
Outlaw will stay out, and Drago.
Taking first place. Do you think Proud here is trying to get a bit of open space coming out of the lap to try and get some space going for him?
I think so. I think Proud will try to get some ground on Shadow, because Shadow will be in the back of the field to restart this. So expect that, as you know, Proud is probably the biggest threat to breaking that streak tonight. It's going to be exciting. I'm really excited to see what Cody Pennant coming back out. Cody Pennant had a great first 4 laps. He got the lead off of the first lap. That first lap, Butler, that was a really exciting first lap.
It was, yeah. It was really great. There was a bit of bumping going on, but that's to be expected when you start a race double up and go into one of the tightest sectors of track in the game. We are looking at probably order basically sitting behind 4th place, with Proud in 3rd, Car in 2nd, ourselves Outlaw in 3rd, and Drago in 4th. Now the question here is, well, 2 questions really. Can those cars that just pitted go 20 laps on the same tires and fuel, and can Proud get enough distance ahead of Shadow to warrant staying out rather than going in and saving some time?
I'll answer that question for you right now. I'll answer those questions for you right now, and I'm sorry to cut you off there. I know it's like right near the end, but here's the answer to that question, and it's a good answer. Yes, they will make it on 20 laps, because everybody has said that you could run this race on 1 lap, 1 pit stop. So I would expect them to be able to run that, and I think Proud's hoping for another caution maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what his plan is, but I can tell you right now he's staying out because Shadow has to get around all these guys behind him, and Proud being one of the fastest cars, I don't think he's going to be too worried about the 2 guys behind him right now, unless he slips up. So here we go. Green flag after the caution. Proud back out in the lead. Out to the right. Drago down low. So they're going now, trying to go 3 wide in the first turn, but Drago really doesn't have the speed to do it. A Shadow looking to go down low on Bobbers now. PPS Proud with a nice commanding lead coming out of the first turn. And I'm going to ride on with Bobbers back there with Shadow right now. Shadow going down low on Bobbers. And Zombie right behind them. So right now, according to my screen, Butler, we have 9 cars on the track, if I'm correct.
That would seem to be the case, as we would have lost 1
and we did.
Away.
We lost Drago.
Yeah. Oh. That's a real
unfortunate.
shame, because he was just... Yeah, so that's 2 drivers out for that team then.
Right now, Outlaw Cody Pennant battling for 3rd. Cody Pennant now going to the inside, coming off the wall a little bit. This is a cluster right now. Zombie's trying to get some speed. Outlaw losing a lot of ground. Shadow back up to 6th. And I'll tell you what, Proud has a commanding lead so far in this race.
Yes, in fact, I was looking at the builds of the cars a bit earlier, and some of the cars, it might be saying they're driving the same cars here, but they are different builds. Cody's car, for example, will excel in the straights as it has more acceleration. Some of the other cars have better handling, so it is, while they're driving very similar cars, it be interesting to see how each car compares to each other and the way that they utilize each of the strengths and weaknesses.
And now Shadow moving up to 5th place now after the restart there, so Shadow having to gain a little bit of ground right now. PPS Proud still getting away from the pack. Shadow going really low as he's trying to get around Kamikaze, and he does. Medic right there as well. Shadow now up to 4th now as he's chasing down Cody Pennant, and Cody Pennant now right on the backside of Aldacar.
Yeah, going up to Cody Pennant now, just following him for a little bit. He does have Shadow on his 6th, so he's made his way up the pack, and now it's going to be up to see if Cody's car can hold it in the straight, and then if Cody himself can hold it in the corner.
So far, so good for these guys as they are putting on one heck of a show there. Right there, looks like Shadow's going to try to go to the inside of Pennant. As Pennant goes on the inside of Aldacar, they're 3 wide. And Shadow, but Aldacar getting a nice run on the outside, and he holds on the 2nd. And Cody Pennant in the middle, and there's an accident.
And Kamikaze in behind him.
Kamikaze and Cody Pennant caught up in an accident that will bring out the caution. And
that's that second pit stop.
Kamikaze should not be going in pit road. They cannot go in pit road. They are not allowed in pit road. But Cody Pennant is allowed to go around him.
Damage assessment here. Looking at Cody, he seems to have suffered damage in his back left quarter with some spring and brake damage there, along with what appears to be some shifting damage in the transmission and 100% drive line at this point. If we go back to Kamikaze,
he's got all front damage.
See where he's at. Yes, 100% steering, 100% drive line in front right quarter.
Alright, well these two got to catch up to the field now, so that will slow down the field, and actually on this caution, I'd expect Proud to, when he pits, I would expect him, well I expect him to pit this time, because the last time he didn't pit, Shadow down 3rd.
Yeah. Now coming out of that corner there, there was a lot of action leading into that crash there. We had what was Cody Pennant going up the inside of Aldacar there. Those two running a little bit wide, and Shannon taking an opportunity of that and going around the inside. And now that is one of the hardest corners to get right and get fast in Forza. So when it comes to going free ride like that, it's very easy for somebody to overestimate their abilities of the cars and to run wide.
And right now, Aldacar, Shadow, Medic, Boberts, and Zombie all staying out. The rest of the field are pitting, and the pitting looks like Proud, Outlaw, Kamikaze, and I'm not sure, oh, that is Cody Pennant. So those 4 cars currently in pit road right now. And I don't know if you've seen...
It'll be interesting for Kamikaze and Cody to see if they can make the entire race now on those stops.
And I gotta make this comment, Friday night, Medic's car, it says no passing on the back of it. He actually had the Cougar on the back of that car Friday night, and now they turned it to an American flag. On the right side of the car it says, I'll pump you, it's because I love you. On the other side it says the same. What a car. Medic's been showing some really interesting paint schemes week in and week out. Originally it was just a neat farm, and then a couple weeks ago he decided to get a little bit of fun with it. So it's always nice to see people with a little bit of humor.
They're definitely driving a different car. It appears to be the El Camino Chevy, which is a ute in my terminology, a pickup truck in yours.
Well, it's fast on the streets, but that's where it can catch people. The problem is when it's concerned. Mac's the kind of guy that's been kind of different all season long. I mean, you got to go back to week number 2. He took the Audi TT. That was really, a surprise to everybody. Everybody took the Viper other than Harmonic and a couple other drivers had a Ford GT and some Nissan, and Cody had, the GTR, and Woody that week had a Z4, He's just picking a car that made no sense, but everybody loves it. So you can't hate on him for that. Alright, so here we go, out of green flag is out. So there we go. Medic run on the inside, on the outside of the right now, out of car going side by side. Losing his spot, gets in front of Medic down as he goes into the first turn. The Shadow now the race leader as Medic and Alucard battling side by side going into turn number 2. PPS Proud in the back, so Proud is currently, I'm sorry, Proud is up in the mix now. Now 5th, now battling Zombie. As Medic's in the way of them, Proud's going to do everything he can right now to get in front of these guys. He knows he's got to chase down a very fast Shadow.
Yes, and Shadow already making use of that 120 lap time as he's managed to pull about what will be
Spin out! Medic!
half a second to a second.
And Medic spun out as he didn't collect anybody, so no caution. I tell you what.
It's interesting. It seems like Aldecott there thought that there was a caution for a second and got on the brakes a little bit, and Bobbers has come up from the inside to capitalize on that, coming up in the second place. But Aldecott back on the switchback, going into the corner, Bobbers runs wide, and it looks like he's secured the spot back, although Bobbers is going to keep up the inside, and it's going to be side by side down the back straight, along with Zombie and Proud.
And Proud. Yeah, Proud just now getting in front of Zombie there. Proud is working really hard. Zombie knows he's probably the 3rd fastest car on the track right now, as Proud's showing really strongly that he is one of the fastest. But right now, the hunt is to get to Shadow, as Shadow now with a nice little lead. As I bring up the map here, you can see how far the leader is from the pack and see who's behind, as Medic, the dot, way in the back of the field right now, trying to regain after a spin out.
Yeah, that's interesting there. It is important to note that, I don't know if it's showing up in yours, but on my screen there is a dot stuck in the pits, and that would appear to be my dot from when I backed out.
I was thinking it was actually Drago's at first.
But as we're coming in... yeah, so as we're coming with...
Proud going to the inside for 3rd.
Oh, Proud coming up the inside. And Aldecott's car just doesn't seem to have it in the straights. Zombie throws him off the track.
I wonder how that's going to pan out. You wonder if there's some bad blood there now. Watch out here. A little out of car respawn. Out of car really good off the last turn, though. He's shown he's really strong off of there. He's got to find other places, though. A Zombie with the Borla paint job. Always showing his pride there. He's always got some nice paint jobs as well. Castrol edge on the back end. He's got his name on top of the hood. Nick. So,
and Cody making the pass Outlaw up to the back of the field.
And, Cody with the unfortunate,
cars,
Cody with the unfortunate accident early on in this race, put him back a little bit on that restart. But here goes Proud now, battling Bobberts for the lead here, for 2nd.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, because in a lot of cars in this game, you can get a lot of tire wear and not really get anything to notice about it, because as you use up your tires, you use up your fuel. So your car gets less grip, yes, but it also becomes lighter, so you need less grip to keep it on the track. So that'll be interesting to see how these cars balance out as we go towards what is about 1/3 of the way through the race now.
Here goes, I think Proud's going to dip down on the inside. No, he does not. He's going to stay to the outside. Roberts goes to the inside, hoping that he can hold that line. As there goes Proud now, battling for 2nd, side by side, going to the final turn. Roberts in that side. Further in the back of the field, it looks like there's some problems, but I can lead us out yet. Proud getting a little slippery off the final turn. Wow, what racing right there. Still slide on the front straightaway. This is a really nice battle for 2nd, but you got to think of how much time it's wasting from the leader.
Yeah, it seems like Proud's car has a bit more on the straights, but Bobbitt's can hold the corners a bit better. So it's going to come down to who can capitalize on each other the best. As they're coming up to... Oh, no, sorry, I thought that was a back marker there, but that's actually just Shadow who's already up in the next corner. So that's a bit of a commanding lead he's got already there.
And now Zombie going underneath.
And
Zombie now passing Bobbitt as well, so Bobbitt's losing 2 positions on this lap, and there's nothing to worry about yet. Still early in the race, a lot can happen, but you got to think right now that's not what he wanted to do. As he's now going on the inside of Zombie. There he goes. Oh, yep, he got the pass. He got the pass right back. So back-to-back passes here for Roberts as he's defending that third place spot. Is Proud going off the track a little bit there. Zombie not able to capitalize. He's a little bit further behind, and not too far behind them, Butler, but Kamikaze showing up in pictures. I'm going to ride along with him here for a little bit. Kamikaze and Team Monster with their entry here tonight. FNG at USS Control as well on that team. USS Control have been very quiet the last few weeks. Haven't really got a hold of him, so we don't know what's going on there. But FNG had to drop out as he was actually in this race tonight.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of a gap now falling between the top 5 and the rest of the field. But as we've seen already so far, it seems that it seems like Bobbitt's, he's stuck in the middle of some of the faster drivers right now, but he's making his presence felt. He's making sure that they can go ahead and try and pass him, but he's letting them know that he will pass them back if they give him the opportunity.
And, Bobbers is one of those consistent drivers. We talk about consistent drivers. Cody Pennant probably I would say Cody Pennant's the most consistent driver in the entire series. He's a guy that stays out of problems. I'd say Menick is probably the second most consistent driver in this series as well. But when you think about consistency and speed, you look at Bobberts. Bobberts is one of those guys who's got a lot of speed, a lot of power, can definitely manage to hold on to the car. He's just one of those guys that you got to watch out for. He's due. His best finish was second, and that was in week number 1. He hasn't seen the top 3 since then, as I believe he's had a couple of 4th place finishes somewhere in there. So he's due for a win here in this season. But you got to get around some of these top drivers as well. You think you're on top of your game, but when you start getting to a series, you start racing against guys that are pretty much either on your level or past your level, and it makes it really difficult sometimes.
Yes, and Kamikaze is closing that gap up a bit on Bobbitt's as he's struggling to keep pace with Zombie. Bobbitt's has been a great driver, and like you said, he's consistent. But it's going to really come down to whether or not Kamikaze here is going to treat him nicely, or if he's going to, make him pull out all the stops to keep his spot.
And with 5 more laps, we reach halfway through this race. You got to think pit stops, the strategy to finish your pit stops. So a lot of these guys said you can go pretty much 30-something laps without pitting, and the car would be fine. You have to make 2 pit stops in this race, and right now Shadow and Proud both who have made their pit stops in the 2 fastest cars on the track currently, and I believe all these guys have either taken their pit stops. I think Aldacar is actually the only one on the track that hasn't even pitted yet, so he's actually going to have to figure out his pit strategy if he wants to get back in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and we also have to remember that Kamikaze and Cody Pendon, they may be falling behind a little bit because of that incident there. That also forced them to take the second pit stop. So it's going to come down to whether or not they can keep their fuel and their tires.
Kamikaze, really nice turn
to stay out.
Kamikaze had a great run off that turn, and he's right on the back bumper of Bobberts now. So we're seeing a battle brewing here as Bobberts is just seeing all type of action so far early in this race. Here comes Kamikaze to the outside. I wonder if he's going to try to do a crossover here. He does not. He's going to hold the outside, but Bobber holds the inside. This could be a really good battle. 2 guys that really know their stuff. Kamikaze probably the more aggressive driver between the 2. So Bobberts being a very good defensive driver as he's shown against Proud. This could be interesting as he gets a little tap from Kamikaze. Kamikaze letting him know, hey buddy, I'm there, and I think Kamikaze might get that run, and he does not. Bobbert stays in front of him. Team Doritos here tonight trying to make sure that they consistently keep their points running in the point standings as they've dropped a few positions in the point standings after week 3, week 4. I would say that would be after week 3. So right now we got a pretty good battle here for 4th.
Yeah, no, it's looking great, and you gotta think that Bobbitt's at this point, he's a bit sick of being passed, so he's gonna make sure that he pulls out all the stops to keep Kamikaze down, and, because at some point it does get a little bit demoralizing when, reverse screening, you do start at the front of the pack, but you do get pulled back as the faster drivers make their way up the field. So, you gotta think, is he at that point where he's like, yes, I'm fine with these people passing me, they're faster? Or is he going to pull out all the stops and try and maintain a bit of his ego here?
Well, I think Zombie just had a really bad turn there off the final exit, and it looks like Bobbers and Kamikaze catching up a little bit to him, so something happened to Zombie, it looked like, but nothing too major. It looked like he recapitalized on it, but right now the battle for fourth still stirring up as Kamikaze is caught up to Bobbers. If you're just tuning in, this is the LSEM Cup week number 5 here at Sebring Short. The Classic Street Muscle Cars are right now Shadow for Team Badger still currently leading this race. Right behind him, PPS Proud. Those guys going 1-2 are the 2 fastest cars on the track. We've had a couple of crashes early in this race, so a few of these drivers have made one of their 2 mandatory pit stops, if not both, and there is one driver who hasn't made one yet. So a lot still to come here as we get to halfway through this race. I also got to mention right now that Kamikaze, and if I have already, excuse me, but has finally caught up to Bobbers, as Bobbers have seen all types of drivers so far in this race, as he lost second, third, and almost fourth here the last about 5-6 laps. So Bobbers trying to hold on to the 4th position right now, as Kamikaze is still trying to figure out a way around him. It seems like every time Kamikaze gets close or gets near making a pass, Bobbers has either held him off or had a better run off the turn, and Kamikaze going way wide. Oh wow! He almost clipped that wall really bad, but saved it, but lost some time there. Further back in the field, right behind them, Cody Pennant. Cody Pennant with an early accident sent him back, as he had a pretty good run early in this race, had the lead for a little bit, but right now trying to do some catch up. And right behind them, there's a battle for 7th as Outlaw and Medic now, or I'm sorry, I thought they were a little closer than they were, but Medic now catching back up to some of the drivers here. Medic spun out on the last restart, going through the S's. Didn't collect nobody, so no caution came out, and that's unfortunate for Medic, but now he's finding himself in a battle here to try to take over 7th from Outlaw, who made the race tonight due to some dropouts. We've actually had a few dropouts here tonight. We're missing Marky QC, Blue at Trans from LSEM as well. Draga, who actually got disconnected. PPS Lucky, heard he wasn't feeling very good, so he didn't make the race tonight. Sloth Reflexes having a bunch of issues connecting to the race. FNG and Bernsey could not make the race as well. And Epic Racer, who unfortunately couldn't make the race due to some home situations. So we have had quite a bit of dropouts, if you're wondering why the field's a little short. But, things happen and the shows must go on.
Yeah, as all the drivers are now finding open space to kind of set their pace. The only 2 drivers that I'm really seeing together so are Mollitz and Kamikaze. We're already trying to capitalize on some of that space that he has behind them. Just closing that gap.
Currently running along with Shadow here right now, as the field's pretty much distant out. With Kamikaze catches back up to Bobbers, which I'm sure we'll see that battle unfolding some more. We'll get back to that, but we're going to talk about Team Badger right now, Butler. Very dominant so far this year, or this season, in the LSEM Cup. Like we said earlier, winning the last 4 races, the first 2 by Shadow, the last 2 by Lawrence. You've competed with them, all these other drivers have been competing with them, and what makes them so good week in and week out, and why it's been such a struggle for other drivers to get ahead of these guys?
Yeah, well, you gotta think, these are some of the fastest guys in Forza, and their team got played for a year. This is like the Infinity War of Forza. So you have Shadow and you have Lawrence, and they've been put together on the same team. These are drivers that are fast. I'm talking top 5, top 7 leaderboard times fast, as we're seeing with Shadow pulling 10 seconds ahead of Proud here. And you also have to realize, yes, they're fast. Those are some of the most consistent drivers out there in the field. I have not seen Shadow in an accident all season yet. I've seen
tonight
in maybe 1 or 2. Yeah,
he was involved in the first accident.
Yeah, but again, he hasn't come out of an accident with damage. The only accident I've seen him in is the one in qualifying, which was self-inflicted back in week 2. But Lawrence as well, he's not had any real issues out in the field. The only times he's had issues was when AMR was racing in week 2, and they were giving him a run for his money up in the and actually he pushed himself to the point where he got unsettled and we heard crash in the chicane.
Oh, yeah.
So these drivers, they're fast, they're consistent, and they can't.
You know, a couple of drivers that were also missing that, you know, you were talking about earlier, the AMR guys not here with us. You know, they did put on one heck of a show in their season debut, which was week 2. They weren't part of week 1. Put on one heck of a show. AMR Rufus and AMR, you know, all those AMR guys, Soggy Waffle, Oobleck, and Hulk, which this is actually his first series that he's ever been a part of. You know, those guys entered, gave Shadow a run for his money. And we can't forget about FTR Serby, who was in that race. He got passed late there near the end. And actually, Serby was the one that was actually chasing Shadow most of the race. But yeah, like you said, we've had a lot of good talent with these guys. But you know, these two guys have been really fast. Lawrence not racing tonight. But I feel like soon, and you know, the streak will go on, and it's an impressive streak. You know, right now they're 4 in a row. But if anybody's going to do it tonight, I'm going to have to say PPS Proud will be the one to knock him off here. If he can catch up to him, or possibly get a caution to line back up behind him, because if that does happen, and we get a caution here in this race, they'll be back up together. I'm sure they'll both pit together. And not too far behind him, Butler, is LSEM Zombie, who's really due for a victory in this season so far. Zombie coming so close so many times. He's just had, you know, the unfortunate side. He's a privateer driver. He has no teammate.
Yeah, so he's done a really good job in showing up every week and being as consistent a driver as one driver can be. And it's been really impressive watching him drive as he's keeping up with these top-tier drivers up in PPS and you know, LSEM Shadow as well.
And I'm going back to Medic here now. Medic actually passed Outlaw. I'm not sure where, but he's got a pretty good gap on Outlaw. And actually, he's right behind Outcar a little bit. I'm sure these two are going to be battling for 7th here in a little while. As Cody Pendant now, or he's still in 6th. Cody Pendant still by himself. Kamikaze, he's still chasing down Bobberts. They're really not really distant, but there's not really much going on there. Now I'm going to stick to Outcar and Medic right now. I think that battle is going to be happening here really soon. Medic has found some speed after his early spin out, and you know, Medic was one of those guys that I felt like could give these guys. You know, he had to get through the B main, and he finished 4th. But I have to say this, Butler, and I know you weren't there for that race. Medic was up front. And I wouldn't say he was the leader, but he was up front in the 3rd. He made his way up through the field to get there. Him and Drago had a great battle. And then Drago dropped out of this race probably due to a disconnect. But just they had one heck of a battle, and Drago got him on the last turn. And finishing 4th in that B-main didn't tell the story for Medic. As Medic now caught up to Outcar. Here's the battle for 7th. But I thought Medic would be the one out of the B main that would really put on a show, and so far he has. But with that spin out after the last restart, you know, it's really hurt him.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting here is we've got to start thinking as well. 17 laps to go. There will be back markers. We've already got a 35-second split between Cody Pendant and Eldacar between 6th and 7th. And if we look back up to the front of the field really quick, you know, Shadow is on the back straight, so he is coming up to them.
Yeah, and you know, can that be a factor? I don't know, but look at this battle. Medic's probably going to get him on the straightaway here. He's got the more of the top end. But you know, go back to what you said. I think definitely lap traffic could be a problem. But Shadow's pretty good at staying out of trouble for the most part. It's not something that he normally gets involved with. He normally will probably pit before he decides to try to pass a back marker, and he does have a pit still to go. So I would expect him to pit here within the next 5 laps. I really do. I think around lap 30 is going to be the latest he'll pit. He's just now showing up in that picture right behind Outlaw. In this battle between Outcar and Medic, you know, that's going up. So the question is, Butler, are you going to try to pass 2 guys that are currently battling for position?
And I think the answer to that is a fairly obvious no. Although, it's going to be interesting to see how Aldecott takes his pit strategy, because if I'm not mistaken, he still has to take a couple.
Yeah, and I believe Aldecott, I'm not sure if he pitted during the stretch. Since we've gone back to green, we haven't really been on him, but at the last I checked, he still had 2 pit stops, but if not, he has 1 now. And I think he has 1 pit stop, because I believe back on the restart he was in last for a while, and then he caught up. So I'm not positive. I could be wrong. Medic looking low again. This battle for 7th. You know, and I was talking to Proud the other night during the B main. He was helping me commentate. It was great to have him part of it, but I was telling him, Medic's been involved in so many battles this season. You know, Butler, we look back at the weeks of battles. He was battling in week 1. Week 2, he was very quiet. He had a couple battles, but he was very consistent finish. I believe in the top, I think he finished in the top 10 in that race. And then he had a heck of a battle going on in week 3 when the P2 cars came out at Road Atlanta. He was in like a 3-car battle for most of the race. Last week he was battling with Kamikaze, FNG, and Drago all race long, and here he is once again battling with everybody. It seems like Medic just can't stay away from the battles, as he's now trying to take over that 7th place spot.
Yeah, that's sometimes indicative of a driver having a different car, or what I call leeching, which is something that I do sometimes, which is where a driver, he's fast, but he qualifies a bit slower, and then during practices or the qualifyings that come afterwards, he gains time. So then you have an issue with a driver who's now faster, starting further back in the field, and it's coming to fruition here as Medic comes up the inside of Aldecott, and they're going to be going too wide down the straight, and Medic should be able to solidify his
I think this is
by the turn 1.
And I think you're right. I think this is where he's going to get him, because he was not this close the last 3 laps. This is as close as Medic's been, but it looks like Aldecott's going to try to close the door on him. I don't think he can do it though. And there's Shadow. The question is, what is Shadow going to do now? If I bring up the race map here, Proud's not that far behind. If any mistake happens here, we will be seeing a battle for the lead. Medic, I'm not. They're still too wide, side by side.
Yeah, Shadow's being held up a lot now. He's trying to get past. He's got past Aldecott now, and he's trying to see if he can squeeze past Medic somewhere, and it looks like he's doing it up the inside here. So maybe a bit of communication there in the party that they're all sharing and trying not to slow him down, but he is having a bit more trouble passing Medic than he did Aldecott.
Medic's a very consistent driver. He's got the top end on that El Camino, so I would assume that he could probably beat him down the straightaway here. But it looks like he won't. And where's Shadow? He disappeared. He's got the top end on that car. Oh my gosh, wow. That's impressive. Oh, but here's Aldecott going down low. Medic going really wide. This battle for 7 isn't over yet. Aldecott gets the 7th place spot out of exit. And the 7th place battle still continues as we haven't had to leave this one yet. Butler, this has been a good battle between these 2 drivers.
It's been great. With a spread out field, it's always nice to have somewhere where you can find a last bastion for a battle, and Medic is pushing the car to its complete limits as you see lose traction along the corners.
The game came on right now, so we're running right on him now as Aldecott into the grass. There goes Medic down low. They're side by side again. Seems like the rating on Aldecott is what's keeping him in front, because we know that Camino has the top end.
Yeah, and I always say, you can have a touring car and they're great for pace, but it's always easier to have.
And they connect. I don't know if that's enough for the caution. I would assume that they could be calling it, but it looks like that they're good to go, so I don't think they're doing that now. But look who's right behind them. It's Outlaw. Outlaw's been catching up to them for the last several laps. Look, Outlaw goes to the inside, but Medic with the block.
No, and Outlaw had the speed on that straight there to try and take through because he wasn't held up by that, so he got a better run out of the corner.
And right now,
interesting the next couple laps.
Oh yes, and this is a 3-car battle now. If Outlaw can keep up with these two, this is going to be a really interesting battle. 7th, 8th, and 9th here doing some work, and I tell you what, this has been really exciting to watch. I'm going to pull up the race map, and it looks like Proud took his final pit stop. And I'm also going to say it looks like Kamikaze has lost ground on Bobberts. I'm not sure which dot exactly. It looks like the 2 after the 1 that's behind these guys right now.
And Team Sky has also taken 3rd place, which will be interesting to see if they can hold it because of the he doesn't have another pit stop, so it's going to be a matter of do I stay out or do I lose seconds on seconds towards the end of the race potentially because of my tires.
And like I said, these guys have said all week long that they can run on 1 pit stop, no problem. They said 30-something laps, there's not a problem. It doesn't really get affected. Here goes the pass again on the inside. Can Outercar hold? He's not going to do it. Medic getting a good run. But it's not over yet. He's not getting the great run. This has been a thrilling battle. Outlaw losing some ground on these guys, but I mean, anything could happen here. Here goes. Outercar though, going a little wider than he wanted to, I'm sure.
It's one of those corners where you can look up the inside and try and take it, but you go in that inside too fast, you're all the way out into the outside again.
Now this is where we're going to find out if this battle is going to still exist, because this is where they've kept the battle alive. There's this section here going into the S's. So if they for some reason go side by side do this double right-hander, I would say this battle's still on, but right now I think this battle's probably over. Oh, but it's not! Medic overdoing this. And there goes Outercar again in front of Medic. This has been a very interesting race, Butler. I mean, we can't get off these guys yet. There's Outlaw right there again. Outlaw's hoping that he can get around these guys. He's like, man, come on, slip up for me. I'm trying here.
Yeah, no, and it looks like another battle's brewing now as well. Not without anything materializing yet, but we do have Zombie who's closing in at 10:52 every lap on Cody Pennant in 3rd place. So it's something to keep an eye on there, as that could potentially bring something in.
I'm on Zombie right now. He is very close. Not too far behind him is Bobberts. Bobberts got away from Kamikaze, so those guys are battling more. I'm going to go back to that battle for 7th, though, until we get those two together. There goes Medic on the inside of Outercar. Outercar with an exit, I would assume. He's done great on that final turn. And yes, he will get in front of Medic again. Outlaw still not too far behind him. And I got to tell you what, if Outlaw can get in front of these two here, watch them, because this could turn into one heck of a battle. These two have both shown that they're faster than Outlaw, but because of battling so much, kept Outlaw involved in this little battle here with 10 laps to go.
And it's looking more fun being 10 laps between 7, 8, 9 to see who can close out that 7th place there. As, even though it is only 7th place, it's 7th place in the A main, so that does carry some concern to it.
Oh yes, and these points are big here in the A main. This is where the big points come from, so every position really is crucial. There goes Outlaw. Outlaw! He's going to try to go to the inside! He just doesn't have the speed to go through there like these guys do. And they're... Oh!
Yeah, he's going to suck. Oh. Yeah, Outlaw's been stuck behind these two battling cars. Like, come on, let me at him, boy. But his car is just, it's pretty much identical. As he's going up the inside, he gets bounced out of the car to take 8th place.
Oh my gosh, look at this! Look at this! Outlaw in the turn now! Outlaw smacked into the wall! Oh, what a shame. I feel for Outlaw right now. That wasn't what he wanted to do. So he's going to make a possible pit stop, or maybe he didn't hear. Nope, didn't hear hard enough. Just some power over there. So Outlaw, okay. Looks like Proud now right behind him. I'm not certain. I would say that is Proud here. Just find out. It is PPS Proud. PPS Proud, quite a bit of ways from the lead right now as I pull up the map here. Shadow now getting onto the final turn or second to last turn as Outlaw's now just hitting the second turn. So.
And now Zombie only half a second behind Cody, so it looks like this battle is coming to fruition now.
And we'll sit on this battle now as the battle for third commences with 9 laps to go here. And the question is how much battling will go on here as Bobberts isn't too far behind them.
Yeah, it's gonna be closing out the top 5, and it looks like it's gonna be these 3 jostling for places here, as Cody taking advantage of that early pit stop to stay out past them and get in front of them. Although he runs wide on the grass, and Zombie looks like he's coming up the outside now.
And Zombie does now take that position. I think Cody really overdid it there. I'm not sure why he was so far into the grass there, but he'll be all right if he can continue. All he has to do is run a constant, you know. Why am I forgetting the word? A consistent race. Had to get that out. He'll finish in the top 5. Zombie, and I know Zombie well. I think he'll be satisfied with the top 3. But I know he thinks that he could probably do better here. So we'll have to see what Zombie can do here. I know there's a lot of race left. But Cody Pennant's not done. He's trying, but Cody goes a little too wide there through the midsection of that turn.
It's going to be close here with 8 laps left. Through about, what will be about 3% per lap. Can he finish up with 19% fuel?
That's a good question.
He's got to think if the fuel's getting. You gotta think if this fuel's getting this low, what are his tires at? Because you can't really see that in the window. It only shows you like some arbitrary numbers.
And right now, I pulled up my the info to that. You're right. He only has 18% fuel left. Can the car make it? That's the question. And you know what? And I can't answer that one because I don't know. I would hope that he can. If we keep an eye on him for a little bit, we might find out. But right now, he's just probably trying to. I would say he's going to try to conserve fuel, but I don't know exactly. His Autocar is back in 9th now. I think Autocar either slipped up or had to make a pit stop because he is actually right in front of these guys now.
Yeah. It's one of those examples of pit strategy because I'm presuming he's just taking his second pit stop and is placing him at the back of the field. So it does seem that a lot of the time you get a caution up, you risk it, and you go for the biscuit. You go and you take that pit stop.
And right now, Bobberts is catching Cody Pennant. So you know Bobberts is going to look to try to get that, as Bobberts plenty of fuel to finish this race. I'm watching Cody here. That last lap he was running on 18%. He's down to 15%. I honestly, right now, Butler, I don't think he's going to make it on fuel. If we do the numbers here, there's still 7 laps to go. You take 3% fuel off each lap.
He's running about 2 laps short.
He's gonna be a few laps short. The question is, can he be conservative? I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm not sure how the game operates like that. If you try to conserve your fuel or not.
Yeah, the real question now comes: does he have enough of a gap to take a pit stop and still end up in 5th? I think he does. As we were about to cycle back over to Tika between 5th and 6th place. And there's only a 10-second gap there behind Paul Butz's Kamikaze, and then a lap down past that is Medic.
And Cody probably watching his gauges right now, trying to figure out what he's going to do here, as Zombie got a little bit held up by Autocar there. Right now,
yeah, definitely.
The top 6 cars are on the lead lap still. Honestly, I would say if he was to pit right now, Kamikaze would take the 5th position. I don't think Kamikaze is that far behind. And I'm looking on my map, it's not.
Despite the fact that it looks like despite the fact that Kamikaze did take 2 of his stops early on in the race, that he has taken another one somewhere and used the tires and the fuel to catch up somewhat here. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see. Cody, a big curse this season so far. Normally finishing about 6th place.
Yeah, the thing about Cody Pendant is a lot of the races, before we've reversed some of these fields, is he's started from the back, but he's found his way up through the field, so he's had a lot of promise all season long. The question is, he's due as well. He's a very good driver. He's a very consistent driver, like we've talked about. Now here, is he going to pit? No, he's determined. I think he thinks he can last, as Robertson's probably going to take that position right there.
Yeah, you've got to beg the question: has he looked at his telemetry? Because you look at at the revometer on the bottom right, and it doesn't tell you that much. So it's going to come down to whether or not he's looked at it, whether or not he's realized that he's not going to be able to keep pace with Roberts here, and at the same time manage somehow to finish the race with fuel.
Right now, Autocar's in the way of these guys. He's just running his race, so these guys are trying to get around him. Shadow with 1.7 as his fastest lap so far. I would say he's going to need a pit. He's not going to make it on fuel.
Yeah, I don't see how he could at this point, and this is one of his last opportunities to do so before it bites him in the foot. So we're going to see if he takes it now.
Wow, he almost got that wall really good.
I'm getting the feeling that he's having issues with his tires now as well.
Kamikaze looking for his first top 5 of the season. Hasn't had a very team monster. Hasn't had a very successful season. Very, very much struggling most of the season, and it would be nice to see them get a top 5 finish here today. And he's trying everything in his power to do it. As right now he's chasing down Team Sky's Cody Pendant. Kamikaze having all sorts of problems right now. Though he's gone into the grass. I've been watching him throughout this first part of this lap. Seems like he's having a lot of controlling problems. Is Cody Pendant still having a ton of problems getting around Autocar? He still couldn't get around Autocar yet, Butler. Is he running conservative?
Yeah. I think so, but it's not going to be enough here. Almost thinking about telling him to go pit, but I think it might be a bit late now, as there's about an 8-second lag. So if he's pitted, he has, and if he hasn't, then it's going to be close.
As he's now getting around Autocar. He's getting a bump, though, by Autocar. Autocar down low, that's going to hold him up. Yes, he's pitting. He is going to make his pit stop. He knows he's not going to make it on fuel. That's going to give Kamikaze the 5th place, as Kamikaze now coming around the final bend there. So Kamikaze now taking over the 5th spot. And that's, he took a gamble early on in this race. He took both pit stops on both laps. And, he thought probably he can make it the rest of the way in field. Or maybe he was hoping for another caution. I mean, we don't know what his mindset was at that point. So that could have been, anything at that point.
Yeah, it looks like he did run about 30 laps, which is what the drivers were saying it could do. So he's really pushed the car to its limit there. And already out of the pits, he's got 4% transmission damage from what would appear to be a missed clutch, which is really going to hurt him. Okay, around the field, everyone's still very spread out right now. We're going to go back a little bit, I guess, and have a look at the back of the field, see where Medic's hanging.
And somebody had an accident.
He's still by himself.
There's somebody with an accident on the track. I'm not sure who it is.
That's so.
I'm trying to find out, though. It was Autocar. Autocar must have clipped the wall or something. Yes. He had some problems back there. But there is something going on the track going into turn 1. I think there might be a possibility No, that is Zombie getting ready to go around Outlaw, so no battle going on there. Man, we're gonna ride around with Shadow. It looks like the remaining of this race, but it looks like somebody just entered pit road. I believe that's Autocar.
Oh. Kamikaze, what's going on here? He slowed down for Cody.
I think he was pitting, actually, there, Butler. I'm gonna pull up his damage here and that'll tell me for sure. No, something happened to Kamikaze. So now we have a battle here for 5th. Cody Pennant looking to the inside. And I was telling you a little bit ago that Kamikaze's been struggling on the first section of the track a lot. And I don't know if that was what happened, Butler. I don't know if you saw what happened, but I watched him go through 2 and 3 there, and he was in the grass again. So the battle for 5th is on right now.
Yeah, and as Cody's car does have the acceleration, he's looking up the inside here, trying to make the pass in the back straight, and it looks like he might have it.
Oh man, they're touching. Kamikaze trying to give him a little bump, slow him down, but it's not going to hold him.
Oh, and Cody's had to brake earlier there on the inside, and Kamikaze holds 5th place coming around the outside as they enter the second.
They touch Cody with the better run, but gets a touch on Kamikaze, and that puts them both sideways, but it looks like it affected Cody more than it affected Kamikaze.
Yeah, it's always heartbreaking to see stuff like that happen, because you get a driver who's got a better run out of the corner, and he bumps the other person, effectively transferring the kinetic momentum into him and slowing himself down as well. But he's gained a lot of time here for the first sector already and is back on a 6.
And Cody Pennant not done yet. They're on the last lap of the race right now. As I'm going to go, while you keep an eye on this, we're going to ride the rest of the way with Shadow. As Shadow,
right behind him.
He is currently on his last lap. So he's just drifting around now. He knows he has this victory. And he rightfully deserves it. A little bit of a showboat, but nothing wrong with that. Showing his pride, showing some excitement as this will be the 5th week in a row that Team Badgerstill picks up a victory. You know, this has been a very impressive run for Team Badgerstill.
You gotta think, are they going to be able to hold on to this streak that they have going into the F1 round? Because those cars are tricky.
And you know that is.
And we know that Shadow can't run those cars because of some unique conditions.
Yes.
So exactly, yeah. So
I'm going to cut you off real quick as Shadow will cross the finish line and be the winner at week 5 of the LSEM Cup here as Sebring does a little bit of a burnout as he crosses the line. And we'll go back to the battle between Kamikaze and Cody Pennant, but go ahead and finish what you were saying there.
Yeah, I was just saying that of the 2 drivers, Lawrence is the more human of the 2. As we saw in week 2, he made some mistakes around Prague. So perhaps Spa being another one of those tough tracks, especially for the Rouge going up the hill, and with the speeds and the grip of the F1 cars, it'll be very interesting to see.
And you know, I have to agree with you. I think, honestly, this is where their streak will end. I think that it's going to be a really tough field. You know, as long as everybody comes out, I think it's going to be a really tough field as these 2 are still battling out in the last lap. But, you know, anything can happen. Lawrence is a great upper class driver. He's a very good low class driver as well. He's an all-around phenomenal driver. But here's a battle for 5th, side by side. Kamikaze, Cody Pennant battling it out. Riding on top of Kamikaze is Kamikaze. Goes a little wide. Cody goes underneath him. Cody with another run. Cody with a big run off the turn. Cody Pennant, they're going to go side by side. And it's going to be. It's not. He gave it to Kamikaze. He backed off on the gas and gave it to Kamikaze.
I mean, that's sportsman right there.
And I personally think he did not have to get back off, but you know what? It's what it is, and Cody's one of the most classiest guys here in the LSEM Cup, and rightfully so, as the rest of the field now is going to get across the finish line as Medic now coming on around his final turn, Medic, with an early incident, dropped him all the way back to 10th. With the dropout move to 9th, he's moved up to 7th. He's doing a little bit of a drift there, as Medic will cross the line 7th, so not too bad for him. And then Outlaw coming around the final turn as well, so Outlaw getting a nice 8th place finish will give him nice points going into the 6th week. And we'll get some drivers here for some interviews, as that's it for this race. And so far, you know, the adventures continue for Team Badge still, as they get a nice victory here. And right now I'm going to pull in Kamikaze, and I'm also going to pull in Codependent as well, as we'll start with them. A little battle at the end. Then we'll get the rest of the drivers in here, as Medic's going to leave, knowing he didn't finish in the top 5. Bobberts, I believe, finishing 4th, but we'll get Bobberts in here as well. We'll get Proud in here as well. Once we get everybody in here, we'll start the interviews, but go ahead and give a little bit of a recap to the audience, Butler, and we'll get it underway.
Right, so lap 1, we saw a lot of action there, as everyone coming out of the double file lineup on the 3rd restart, which has put us back into an overcast kind of setup here, and we in fact saw some scratching happening on. Had 2 pace laps in the first 10 laps, but after that we've had a lot of drivers who have in fact managed to find space, and we had some battles going on. We had some great battles between Car and Medic, and we had some great battles towards the end between Codependent Bobberts and Codependent and Kamikaze.
And right now, as we wait for Kamikaze and Codependent to make their way into the party, I'm going to start with SSR Bobberts, as Bobberts, you know, you had a pretty exciting race. You know, you made it up to 4th. You had a nice little battle there with Kamikaze, but you saw all kinds of people in the back. And just to let all these guys know, make sure your party audio is on so we can get it through our end.
It is, yes.
But I gotta say, you saw guys in the back. Pretty much the first 2/3 of the race, Bobberts, it seemed like you had to play defense most of the time, and then Kamikaze got up to you and challenged you, but you were able to stay in front, and it looked like Kamikaze had a couple of issues along the way, which got him further away from you.
Yeah, I mean, the first third of that race can go to hell for all I care. I wasn't consistent. I was actually really annoyed with myself, and it was only after when I managed to break a little bit away from Kamikaze that I could actually knuckle down, get some laps in, try and close it on Zombie if I could. I mean, we were kind of trading times every now and then, but I mean, yeah, it was a good battle at the end, but, you know, it was kind of a bit of a lonely race, I think, to be honest, more than anything.
Yeah, and, you know, you had honestly, out of the entire race, it seemed like you pretty much, like you said, were by yourself, but you have to be happy. A top 5, you know, I believe the last couple of weeks haven't been very friendly to you, so you got to be happy with the result.
Well, I know it's been a little bit of a depleted lobby, obviously, for one reason on top of another for other people, but, you know, 4th place isn't bad. It just means Zombie's still ahead, which is a piss take, but, you know, we have a little bit of a break and come back fighting again, and hopefully we can outscore him. That's the target.
And I believe PPS Proud is yet to join our party, so I'm not going to get on him just yet. We'll try to get him in here. But I'm going to move on. Congratulations to your 4th place finish, Bobberts. I know it's kind of late for you, so I'm not sure if you're going to hang around or not, but if you decide to go, congratulations on that 4th place finish. And I'd like to go next to Kamikaze and Codependent. Kamikaze, let everybody know that's here, that hasn't been here yet. Just make sure your party audio is on so we can get through the other end. But Kamikaze and Codependent, we'll get right with you right after that. Kamikaze, you had a pretty good race. This is probably the best result for Team Monster all season long. A top 5 finish there. It's a side-by-side action from Codependent. It looks like, and as it looked like, Codependent gave it away there at the end. But we won't say that just yet when we get to him. But Kamikaze, you got to be happy with the top 5 result. Team Monster finally getting a good result in the A main. You had a lot of battles along the way. You caught up to Roberts at one point of the race, but you lost him. You seemed like you were struggling near the end of the race. You were having some off-the-track issues. You couldn't kind of keep the car where it needed to be at turns 2 and 3. It seemed like the most. But other than that, you had a nice little battle. There was Cody Penny at the end.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean the car felt kind of loose to me today, and yeah, turn 2 and 3. No, but you know, I knew that I wasn't going to catch up to Roberts at all, so I knew he was running like 21s, and I was running mid 22s, so I know me and Cody were pretty close in time, so I was like, you know what, I know I'm not going to catch up to Roberts, so I'm going to wait up for Cody and have a good race, you know, so.
And we thought you might have slowed down a little bit there to give it a nice little battle at the end.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I slowed down for him because I'm like, you know, I would rather have a race than just to keep on driving around the track.
Well, and that's sportsmanship at its finest. It looked like Cody Pennant there at the end gave it to you due to that fact. And I'm going to move on to Cody Pennant. Congratulations on the top 5 finish to Kamikaze. It's well deserved. I'm sure Team Monster's going to be pretty happy with that result once everybody finds out. So congratulations to you. But Cody Pennant with the top 6 finish, sixth finish. It seems like it's a trend that you finished either 5th, 6th, or that's it. You've been, it seems like it's been a trend for you this season. But Cody Pennant, you had a really nice start to your race. You got early out front in the race. You're leading for about a lap or so before some things happened on. A couple cautions came along the way. You took the early pit stop. You took the early 2 pit stops in the race. We were trying to calculate what you had. You looked like you were 2 laps short on fuel, and obviously that was the case as you had to pit. But there at the end, you're battling Kamikaze, and good sportsmanship at the end. It looked like you gave him 5th as he waited up for you throughout that race. Have a nice little battle.
My goal was just to be as dumb as I could possibly be with my pits, and I succeeded, so I'm happy about that. Coming out of pit 2, I think, was when later I noticed that my tires weren't warming up and I wasn't wearing them out. So the rubber wasn't gripping, and I just kept getting further and further behind. And Kamikaze had pity on the old man and dropped back a little bit so that we could race and rub some paint. And I got a lucky exit off that final turn and got ahead of him, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I just backed off. He earned it, and he got it.
And that was really exciting to watch. But like you said, I'm sure you were expecting to be able to finish on fuel, and I have a feeling that kind of surprised you a little bit when you got near the end. You're like, wow, I need to pit here soon. I don't think I'm going to make it on fuel.
Exactly right. I should have skipped one of those early pit stops that was on yellow, and I wasn't damaged. I should have just stayed out in the field and gone further for my next pit stop. But oh well, hindsight's 20/20. You never know what's going to happen down the pike, so you take a gamble and you hope it pays off. And tonight it didn't pay off, but that's okay.
And congratulations to you, as you've been keeping Team Sky in the mix the last couple weeks, as Butler's kind of been absent on and off, so you guys have been working together to do the best you can to make sure that someone's in the race. But congratulations on a top 10 finish, and hopefully not next week, but the week after, you guys can pull off some better results in the F1 cars, so we'll see you then. So congratulations on that. And Proud, welcome to the show. Zombie, I'll get you right after Proud. I know it's a little late for Proud, so we'll try to get him in out so we can get to bed here. But Proud, and a pretty exciting race. In the beginning, a lot was going on at the beginning of that race. The first accident happened. You stayed out onto the track. Shadow had got into an incident with Kamikaze, and I can't remember who else was there. I'm not sure it was a 3-way battle, but the caution came out. You stayed out on the track. A couple of the slower guys were with you there to try out a car and outlaw, and they were trying to get some positioning. Hopefully, get another accident probably along the way. But you got a nice lead. And, another caution came out later on, not too long after that. You made your pit stop. We went green to checkered the rest of the way. My thoughts on that throughout the race was you were hoping for one more caution to maybe get a shot at Shadow, but overall, you got to be happy with the second place finish. You had a really fast car tonight. I'm sure you wanted a bit more than that. You've been telling us all week long that you've been really comfortable with the car, so just walk us through pretty much that beginning of the race, because throughout the rest of the race you seem like you're by yourself.
Yeah, you pretty much said it all already. I was just hot lapping then within that race. I missed out on the opportunity to race with alongside Shadow because of something that happened earlier on in the race, but I'm happy. I'm really happy actually. I was close to getting into the 20s.
Yeah, 21 flat.
Well, yeah, beat my fastest lap. So I was happy. Second place, points for PPS.
And you know, your teammate PPS Lucky, who unfortunately wasn't with us tonight, has been feeling under the weather a little bit. But you know, a good result for Team PPS. And I heard you're already getting ready for week 6, so that's probably a pretty exciting race for you guys.
Yeah. I generally race in them higher classes anyway, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I should do well.
And so congratulations, Proud, on the second place finish, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Zombie,
Thank you very much.
Zombie, what a race you've had. Tonight you weren't sure that you were going to make the race. First you said you weren't going to make it, then you were able to make it last minute, got into the qualifier, was lucky to make it in. I gotta ask you though, I'm sure you pretty much figured it out throughout the beginning of the race that you were a top 3 car. Probably didn't think I probably thought you could have had a little better than that, but it seemed like Proud and Shadow were just beyond everybody else throughout this race. So I think for you it's just staying consistent, staying in third and getting those points.
Well, I thought I'd have more competition from Bobberts, but the whole pit thing, he ended up gaining a gap, and I was kind of sad because I wanted an actual, fight to the end. Because during quali, we were literally like trading positions every turn throughout the entire track. So I was hoping that was going to be like that for the race, but sadly it wasn't.
Yeah, and you had a couple of battles along the way. There was a battle between you and actually I think you and Bobberts were battling. I'm not positive. You guys were getting around out of car, or maybe it was you and Cody. You were actually battling with Cody at one point. You guys were having a hard time getting around out of car. So that was kind of the only action you really had after the last restart.
Yeah. I just wish it was more, but I mean, I was actually surprised by how, I was expecting it to be a walk in the park for the first opening laps, kind of like how it was in Maple Valley, but I was surprised it took me a while to get around everybody.
And it was a very exciting race early on. There was a lot that happened in the first 10 laps of that race. But another top 5 for you. Your time is coming. You probably think, well, when am I going to get one of these wins? But we're sure to see you get one in the upcoming future. You've been very consistent. You've been very fast. So maybe week number 6. I don't know. But I'm sure that you're excited to go into the F1 race.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And so congratulations to you on the 3rd place finish. And once again, the man of the hour for Team Badge is still 5 straight weeks in a row, ladies and gentlemen. LSEM Shadow will get the victory in Shadow. It was an exciting race early on, but after that last caution, seemed like it was smooth sailing for you the rest of the race.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting. I was looking forward to battling alongside PPS Proud. We seemed to be on a pretty level pace when it came to qualifying, but going 3 wide into that turn, I got the wrong end of the stick and ended up in the wall with quite some damage. But yeah, so I was really looking forward to working my way through the pack, but then obviously the second caution lap came out, and that just, I think that kind of gave me the edge to just pull away.
And that was the thing. I think Proud was hoping for another caution after a second pit stop. You guys were kind of on a different pit strategy with the caution implemented. We were actually looking forward to seeing you guys battle. You guys did battle for a little bit. It was actually in the beginning of the race. Obviously, they're in the middle of the pack. You got into that wreck. I'm sure that wreck kind of caught you off surprise. You guys went 3 wide. We saw Kamikaze check up a little bit, bumped. I don't remember who it was in the middle there. Got into you, hit you into the wall. Caution came out, but I'm sure the caution helped out, and then the next caution, Proud took his pit stop, probably hoping that there was another one along the way that he would stay out with you, but overall, it's part of the racing, part of racing, and at the end of the day, the win's all that matters.
Well, I did come across two guys on the track. I think it was Aldacar and whoever
And Medic.
in El Camino.
Medic. Those two were battling in front of
those
you.
two battling. Yeah, I was kind of sitting behind them for a lap or two, just watching it, and then I just finally decided, okay, now's the time to get a move on.
And we were watching that
was
battle.
good to watch.
Oh, that was a great battle. I know they're not in the party right now, and we're not gonna bring them in, but they had one heck of a battle for sure. That was a very fun battle. That was about 10 laps of battling for those two before you got caught up to them, and we were watching you. We were actually trying to figure out if you were gonna pit or not. We didn't know if you were trying to get in that mix or not, but it seemed like you didn't have too many problems getting around them. It looked like Medic tried to give you a little run when you got around him, but other than that, that was really all the action you really saw throughout the race.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, congratulations. This is the 5th win in a row for Team Badger still in the first 5 races. You've had 3. Lawrence has had 2. We know you're probably not going to be able to race in the next race, so Lawrence will probably have to take the reins there. Do we see 6 wins in a row for Team Badger still?
Honestly, I'm gonna say no, because where I know Lawrence is very good at racing F1 cars, I think there are other people in the lineup that are probably going to be that little bit better, especially considering the cars are stock, I believe.
It is
So
stock.
I'm actually hoping that, as bad as it sounds, that Lawrence doesn't win. Somebody else the opportunity.
Well, he's going to do everything in his power to win that race. I'm pretty sure that the streak is fun to watch. We're excited to see who might knock you guys off, but it's part of the game, and we're going to see what happens here, whether the streak dies or not. We know that there's a few guys in this series, like you said, that are F1, kind of specialists almost. Boberts and Nicole, Team Doritos, those two race F1 all the time, so it's kind of something that they're used to, so that would be something, 2 people to watch. I know Proud has been working on that as well, so you're right, anything can happen. I feel like that's going to be the race that could knock you guys off early in the season with the streak, but if not, we know Lawrence is going to do everything he can to win that race. So even though you say that, I'm pretty sure Lawrence is thinking, I'm planning on winning. So
Absolutely.
other than that, you guys, it was a great race tonight. Congratulations, Shadow, on the victory once again. Other than that, guys, we go into week 6 in 2 weeks. Next week is a week off. For anybody that's still watching right now, the drivers will get the information for the next 5 races so they can get some cars tuned to rate this week so they don't have to go week to week. But other than that, we will be taking a week off here in the LCM Cup. So next week will be no racing until the following week. Other than that, Butler, my co-broadcaster here tonight, got off a little early, probably had to go, he had some school things to do, so I will finish it off by saying it was a great race tonight here, Shadow with the victory, and we'll see you guys in week 6 in the LCM Cup. Thank you for watching, from the drivers to us here from the association. We wish you all the best of a good night. Thank you. Hold on.